rainstorms like the May 3rd flood, the canal overflows into that predominantly black neighborhood in that area and floods those people's homes. So we are fighting to have the Corps put up a flood wall like there is on the Jefferson Parish side.
Well, that sounds like it's a legitimate request. I'm looking at also at the literature your group puts out, and it says on June the 19th of this year, a Community Voice members came together to announce the creation of the Jerry Bell, Beulah Labostri, and Lanny Roy Community Organizing and Social Justice Legacy Project. What is that?
Well, you say social justice. The Beulah Labostri, Geraldine Bell, she was an activist with our group long before I was. Beulah Labostri and Lanny Roy are the president and vice president, respectively. In social justice, our social justice program is primarily about fighting against, I should say, the injustices that affect, again, low to moderate income people.
And when you say that, and you may be purposely not saying, do you feel that there's racism involved in that?
Oh, God, yes.
Because there are low-income whites as well, but
yes.
I suspect that the majority of the really low-income people would be the black people.
Yes. Well, you know, the thing is, when you look at the history of New Orleans, there are issues. I mean, we had to, they bubbled up after Hurricane Katrina, that were a city divided, you know, so there has been a lot of classism and racism in this city, you know, and we're saying, you know, our new mayor is saying, you know, I want to unify the city. I want to bring, you know, I want to close the divide. So if you want to close the divide, make sure that you provide for us a better quality of life. That's the first step. You know, make sure you abide by ordinances that are on the books, because a prime example, our former council lady, Cynthia Willett-Lewis, introduced an ordinance, an equity ordinance back in '06, primarily speaking to the fact that no neighborhood, no matter how devastated it was, no matter what its geographical location was, that there should be fair and equal recovery. And of course, that hasn't happened. You know, so, you know, we're seeing on the one hand, the city wants to enforce ordinances like musicians playing music in the quarter, which is the ambiance of the quarter, but they don't want to enforce an ordinance that affects low to moderate income people's lives, their quality of life every day.
And your best explanation for that is that it's the racial difference, or are there other reasons?
I think, like, again, you know, it's a class issue, it's a race issue, and I'm not going to sit here and say we haven't been part of the problem. You know, we've been part of the problem and not part of the solution.
Yes.
This is why our group has been around for some 40 years, and we're organizing our people around these issues and opening their eyes to the fact that, you know, you have not been treated fairly, and, you know, you have a legal foot to stand on.
Well, now let me say this. We're coming close to the end of our show, and I want to give you the opportunity, if there are other things that you would like to say, or if you would like to talk to the audience and ask for their assistance, whatever you would like to say in the next couple of minutes.
Okay, well, I'd like to say to the audience, there are lots of issues affecting people in these neighborhoods, these devastated neighborhoods still, so 5 years after the storm. We're going to have lots of national media here. And we have to get the word out, and we have to get organized collectively around these issues, and we have to put pressure on the city to do what's right, because we just want equal and fair treatment. You know, our mayor, our new mayor is again saying accountability, transparency, equity, you know, all of these things, and these words have just been thrown around, you know, for 5 years.
Yes.
So it is incumbent upon us to make sure that we put pressure, to make sure that we collectively organize around these issues and make these things happen.
Now, if people want to know more about your group, do you have a website that people could go to?
We're a community voice. Pretty much that's our at www.communityvoice.
www.acommunityvoice, and they will get to your website.
Correct. Or just type in a community voice in your search engine, and we'll pop up.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, do you? How are you funded?
Well, we're a nonprofit, so we get private funding. We're not funded by the city or the state, you know. So. Primarily, that is how we get our funding.
You depend upon the goodwill of people who agree with your mission. Is that about it?
Correct. And we are dues-paying members. Also, we pay $10 a month. That's our dues.
I see. And is your membership list growing, or?
Oh, definitely. We had some 9,000 members before the storm. We have maybe about half that and growing every day. So yes, we want people to join. We want people to align with us, and they see us every day organized around these issues.
Vanessa, thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you, Mr. Greenberger.
And I want to thank you folks who are watching our show. I think you have found this informative, interesting, and important. And we hope we will see you here again next week.